crappy music while I was away. But let's hope we can keep the signal going now and carry on with the rest of the evening. So we last spoke about the banks doing it, and we algo trade for a reason, because they algo trade for a reason. They make money trading money. It's less time consuming, there's less people involved, less humans involved, and they basically just make money from going in and out of the market all day long. So it's a really strong reason as to why we should do it as well. Okay, the number two is it stops human mistakes. Of course, computers can't think. Computers can process information, but they can't think until you get very intelligent computers, which is what we're trying to create actually with our machine learning. So we can create an intelligence that's artificial to know when to go in and when to go out. But algo trading, one of the benefits of algo trading is it stops human mistakes. It also stops people looking for trades that aren't there, picking the wrong entry price, picking the wrong stop loss, etc., etc., etc. So, you know, in the future, you know, there are going to be so many more technological advances. We're right at the beginning of it, right in the mix of it all, looking to improve things all of the time. So the third reason for algo trading is work-life balance. You know, we mentioned earlier about spending time looking for setups in the marketplace, spending time going back then in a couple of hours to see if that's actually set up yet. That's the real reason why people come into trading, not just to make the money, but also to get a work-life balance. You know, spending 8 or 10 hours a day at work, traveling around there. So if you're a rep on the road or you have to go to the office, spending time, finding time to trade can be difficult, especially if you're spending, you know, 3 or 4 hours a day trading. Use an algo system to allow you to be able to take that benefit and use that benefit in your favor as opposed to against you with regards to time. Most retail traders that I've met over the years spend more and more time in front of their screen, which upsets that work-life balance and defeats the object of them being in it in the first place. Number 4, prevents traders from missing opportunities. This is another huge reason, you know. Some of the trades that I have placed on my algorithmic trading system, ATS, by Tradinsights, they happen overnight. They happen at 11 o'clock at night. They happen in the morning. They happen when I'm doing something else, you know. We go out, we try and have as good a social life, my wife and I, as we can. And if we're out and there's a trade set up, I don't have to be in front of the computer for it to actually place the trade. The Algorithmic Trading Software, ATS, will do that for us. So an algo system will not miss an opportunity. It will take every trade you ask it to take on its own. It will put stop losses in place. It will cover risk management. When traders miss opportunities, they often then tend to overtrade the next time to make sure they don't miss it, and they make up for what they missed in the first place, which causes losing money excessively. And I was coaching somebody today, which is I do some coaching sometimes for another company, and one of the traders that I was coaching was missing opportunities, and they were doubling up the risk on the next trades. And I asked them why. They said, because I missed that one, I want to make sure I get the benefit from the one I missed and another one. And then what you do effectively is you double your risk and you lose money quicker because you're risking too much. So algo trading takes that all away from you, all that issue and all that aggravation, and gives you enhanced benefits from never needing to miss another trade again. It also helps you with other trading areas because it will show you how you can have more losing trades than winners and still get a profit. This really emphasizes the point for any trader who trades manually. It gives you that stronger mindset. It gives you that stronger belief. And especially when you throw into the mix back testing. I'm going to show you a back testing. I'm going to create a strategy for you in a bit. And I'm going to back test it and show you with a higher reward to risk how you can have more losing trades than winners and still make money and still profit. And this is the beautiful thing about algo trading. It's about making more from your winning opportunities and getting rid of your losing opportunities. And that's what this is all about. As you probably realize, I'm very passionate about this. I'm passionate about trading. I'm passionate about what trading can do for people. But I'm also extremely passionate about what we have created with ATS. And what you're going to see is now getting it for free. We've got brokers coming at us from all angles, wanting them to have it for their traders because their clients aren't trading enough, or their clients, you know, are not going into the market and missing opportunities, and clients saying, is there a solution for us? Well, we've got it, and we're getting brokers coming to us all of the time looking to ask us for this. So why isn't everybody doing this already? The golden question. This is the $1,000,000 question, okay? And it's a really interesting statement and one that deserves an answer. The reason why everyone isn't doing this is, first of all, computers understand specific languages, i.e., whether it's Java or whether it's MetaQuote language, MQL, or whether it's C++. There's all sorts of different languages out there computers understand. But most people in the world don't speak those languages, so don't know how to write a code to do that. And an automation requires instructions to be given to the computer for every single function. And you need to either understand that language, be able to write it, and be able to actually implement it for you to be able to do that. There, of course, are other ways of doing this, and that's get somebody like this, who we met earlier, to write the code for you. But it took him 12 minutes to actually get the thing written down on paper. So I wouldn't have much comfort and much, what's the word I'm looking for? I would have probably more reservations than employing somebody like this. He's going to take months to write one strategy. And even then, and it works, and I don't know how much he's going to charge me for doing it. So we met this guy earlier, and look, it's just confusing. So really and truthfully, the only way you can do this up until now, where we've now got ATS, is to find a coder or a developer who knows how to write the language that the computer understands. First of all, that takes time to find. Once you've found them, it can take that same person time to create the code required to write your strategy in a language that the computer software you're using or broker platform you're using understands. Yes, they're off the shelf, but if you buy something off the shelf, you don't get any way to test it. You don't get any way to see if there's any flaws in it. You're just paying your money with no guarantee of any money back if it doesn't work, which is really dangerous. So I spoke to a guy about 4 years ago when I first started looking at auto trading. I spoke to a developer in America, and I asked him if he could give me a price to code a strategy. And he came back to me and said, what exactly do you want? And I said, I want you to code a strategy that works on euro versus the dollar, when the 50 moving average crosses the 200 moving average. I want to buy when it goes upwards, and I want to sell when it goes down for this specific number of pips stop and target, and I want to do it on a 15-minute chart. He came back to me and he said to me, how do I code what a moving average is? And I'm thinking to myself, this is frustrating, because it's going to take me a long time to try and explain what I want until he can then even give me a price to then give me what I want. And I asked him how long it would take him to code a strategy like that once we've got everything sorted. And he said probably 6 to 8 weeks, and he charges $300 a day Okay, guys, I do apologize. We have had another internet outage, which is really frustrating, but I'm back. I believe you should be able to hear me now. So we spoke briefly about how coders and how people spend a lot of time and money on coding strategies, etc. I'm sure you're typing, and okay, you're live. Thank you for your patience. I apologize. That's the internet for us, and it's really frustrating. So we'll try and get through this as quickly as we possibly can, so you can ask some questions. So okay, so this is where I'm going to talk to you about the ATS, Algorithmic Trading Software, powered by TEKTON. TEKTON is our technology provider, our technology partner, and I'm going to now just talk to you about briefly what ATS does, and then we'll get on to talking about and showing you how it actually works. Okay, so what does ATS do exactly? ATS allows anybody to create a trading strategy as simple or as complex as you want, using many available indicators in a minute or so, using inbuilt drop-down menus. So within the system, as you'll see, you have drop-down menus that show you exactly how and what you can pull and what you want to happen when you want it to happen. It allows you then to risk manage the strategy for each individual trade it will take and for the overall strategy too. So I had a conversation about 6 months ago with a broker, and they said the only downside to algorithmic trading systems is what we call drawdown. If they are continuously trading and they're in a position where they're actually in a position of losing trades in a run, you know, the system can go down quite a bit. With our system, we have what we call a drawdown limiter, which means you can put in a specific number before the system will then just say stop, and then you can revisit it. That way it controls any drawdown, and it also takes your profit on the overall system as well moving forward. So it's a real fail-safe. We've listened to what's needed in the market, and we've put everything we can into ATS, and we can add into it moving forward. It also allows anyone to historically test that strategy on past real market data and demonstrate how it may have performed in the real market. So this is beautiful. A back testing engine to historically test the strategy you've created in the marketplace using real market data. So had you gone into those trades at the beginning, what that would have done moving forward to today's date. Backtesting is fast, from a few seconds up to just a minute or two for more complex strategies. I'll show you how it works. Then if you're happy with the results, the strategy can then be set to auto live trade at times you choose, either 24 hours per day, 5 days per week, or at specific time parameters you want. If you only want a trading strategy, and I don't see why you'd want to do this, between 10 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you can do that. If you only want to trade on a certain time period during the day, you can do that. Every trade is executed where you want it to and closed where you want it to automatically based on the conditions you have given. So the strategy conception, this is how I want to talk to you a little bit about how I believe and how I think strategies are created in my mind, and then show you how we put that into real action in a moment when I show you how we work ATS. So strategy conception, this is what we call a Bollinger Band strategy. Now, a Bollinger Band, for those of you who don't know much about trading, is simply an envelope which wraps around price. So you can see here, wraps around price. We have the green envelope at the bottom, and we have a red envelope at the bottom. They can be any color. I use blue on mine. So we have what we call a Bollinger Band upper band, and we have a Bollinger Band lower band. So when the current price is moving sideways like this, where it's not really breaking out any highs, you can buy the bottom band, okay, and you can sell the top band. So you can actually make money by just trading between the two bands. Now, this particular strategy, this one works in a trend-based environment. So what I've also done here is I've added a 200 moving average. So when the 200 moving average is moving upwards and price is above it, it usually means I'm only looking for buying trades, okay? And obviously the same for vice versa. If the Bollinger Bands were below and price was below the 200 moving average, the 200 moving average will be coming down like this. We'd be looking only for selling trades. So I've got a quick video to share with you on that. we should explain a little bit more detail about how that works. For longer periods, and then you get them moving up in a certain direction. So you can see actually the periods of when it's going sideways are actually a lot less on a 1 minute time frame. This was for about an hour and a half today, where price was just bounding in between the two bands, and then all of a sudden you get that strong move in the direction. So the strategy that I've wrote for this includes a 200 moving average. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just put that on actually. So I'm going to put a 200 moving average on, and what that does is that will tell the system to only take trades in the direction that the market's actually moving. So let's just put this on and show you what I mean. So for example, whenever price is below the 200 moving average, it will take the sell when it hits the top band. And when price is above the moving average, it will only take the buy when it hits the bottom band. So for example, here it would have taken a buy. Okay, it would have taken the buy trade here only. It wouldn't take the sell trade here because it's above the moving average. So that's how I've added to the strategy, or added to the Bollinger Bands. I think they're a fantastic piece of kit, I really do. And okay, so you get the idea. Bollinger Bands work in a sideways market, but I also had what we call a trend filter here by using a moving average. So I'd only take the buy here. I wouldn't take the sell here, but I'd take the buy here because it's above the moving average. So that's in essence the strategy concept in my head. Later, I'm going to show you in a moment, where I'm going to show you when we put this into ATS, how we write that into the system and how we can trade it and run it live. There is another slide on this, which I'll just share with you now. So this is another strategy type setup. Okay, so this is another one. This is how we can spot bullish and bearish moves. So just for those of you that don't know, a bullish move is when price is going up, and a bearish move is when price is coming down. Just a little story for you to remember that is I want you to imagine a set of stairs in a big house, and this bull with the big horns is climbing the staircase step by step. And as he gets to the top of the staircase, which takes a long time to get up, he sees a bear jump out of the window back to where he started from. So bulls tend to climb the market, and bullish markets tend to go up very, very steadily, but bearish markets fall very, very quickly. So when we see a bearish market, it normally moves a lot quicker than what we see with a bullish market. Bullish markets are normally based on greed, price going up, I want to buy, price going up, I want to buy. Bearish moves work on fear. Price is falling, I want to sell, etc., etc. So this is an example of what I call a moving average cross. So we've got here a 50, and we've got a 2. In how price is moving in one certain direction, and when they cross, it usually means a move to the upside when they cross upwards, and when they move down, a move to the downside. So we have here an EMA cross. We bought here, and we closed the trade in profit here. Okay, this is on euro against the dollar. Okay, let's move to the next slide. This is a selling opportunity. So this is when the moving average crossed down. Okay, so the moving average is crossed down, and then there was a selling opportunity here. And as you can see, we closed the trade right here. Okay, now there's another one here, EMA cross here, but have a look at the time that this one would have executed. This would have executed probably around about 12:30, ish, midnight time. So probably most of us would have been asleep at that time and would have missed this. Had we not been asleep and we'd taken this and then we're awake the next day watching it fall, and we saw this movement here, you probably, as a trader, would have had emotion kick in. As the price started going back up again here, wanted to close your position out because you didn't want it to go back up to where you started. You want to capitalize on the profit. Natural, understand it, complete human emotion. Take whatever you can. We taught that from beginning. But you know what? Had you been looking at this and did that all, this move here. And that's the beautiful thing about not being in front of your screens when you're trading. Just set them up and let them run, and you don't know that. You wouldn't have known this had pulled back. You'd have just seen the profit when it came in here. And this EMA cross is a really, really good system. This is for July. This is one of our clients' accounts here. It's a real life account, as you can see. And this is through the month of July, from the 1st of July to the 31st of July. Now, it's only a small account. It's not a huge account. It's a real account, and the ID has been masked out for data protection, but it shows you the euro-dollar EMA cross trades for July this year. The month has just ended. We had 6 winning trades and 5 losing trades, but remember, they were at 3-to-1 reward to risk. So the losing trades, as you can see here, are much smaller than the winning trades, apart from there's one, I think one anomaly on here, which was just a test trade here. But the winning trades were much larger than the losing trades, and which resulted in a profit of this particular account of 181 euros for the month. But look at the size of the account. The account was only small. If that would have been, say, 1,000 euros, that would have been probably about 18%, but the account was half that. So it's a really good success rate, and that's just very recent, on the month of July, in a real account on a system using ATS. This is an account using the API interface, which ATS basically is, and ATS would have created all of these trading opportunities for you. Look at some of the times on here. Some of them were really weird times. There's no way on earth I'd have been awake looking at my charts at 11 o'clock at night. And some of them would have been very, very early in the morning to close them out. This one was 7 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't have been awake at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, in essence, that's really how ATS works. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the opportunity of sharing my screen with you, and I want to show you how ATS works, go through the system itself, show you how to create a strategy, how I create a strategy. I'm going to create 2 or 3, time permitting. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to do that. And I'm going to give you a real treat later. I'm going to show you how to create a strategy, and I'm going to do a little test to see how long it takes me, internet permitting, of course, from writing the strategy. I won't back test it, but from writing the strategy from scratch and getting it to execute live in the marketplace. I'm sure you'd like to see that, just to show you the speed and efficiency of the system. So I just need to share my screen with you, which will hopefully won't take too long. Okay, I'm hoping you can see my screen. I don't know if you're okay. Quick question, can you hear me? If you can, fantastic. I'm now going to share my screen. I'm hoping you can see my screen now. Can somebody confirm if they can see my screen? You can, fantastic. Okay, so this is the ATS strategy builder. This is where we create our strategies, okay? So this part of it is where we have our strategies listed. So your strategies would be listed here. As you can see, we have 0 strategies set up. I'm going to create 1 or 2 now to show you how easy it is. So this particular system is really good. It gives you the number of your account here, the demo or live. And here you can see we're actually bringing other languages in. We're currently writing it in Spanish and English and Polish. So we're going to be having those set up very, very soon. And you have a complete menu of status of your strategies. So create new strategies, the first thing we would do. Okay, let's log back in again because it's going to take probably a while since we was in here. So this is the first screen you will see when you log in, Tradinsights ATS. You get your risk disclaimer, and we'll create a new strategy now. So the first screen you see is the screen here, which is the screen showing you the currency pair it's set at default and the risk settings and the algorithms. Now, we haven't written an algorithm for this yet, so I'm now going to show you how to write an algorithm for that. So we first will click Add Algorithm, okay? And I'm going to write the EMA cross. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the euro-dollar EMA cross. So I'm going to plot the EMA cross on here, 50. And the 200. This is the one I showed you in the screenshots just now. So we have red and white. Okay, so basically we have the red and white EMAs on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a strategy that whenever these two cross, to take the trade for me. Okay, so let's just look back the last time it crossed. It crossed here at 10:30 on the 1st of August. Okay, so may have been in front of my screens at that time. I could have been looking at something else. I could have been doing something else. However, I want to program a system that will allow me to take these opportunities when they set up. So how I do that, I use this window here. Okay, we've already got when pre-populated, and we use these indicators here to tell the system what we want. So here we go. We click FX indicator and we type moving average. As soon as you start typing it, it recognizes what you want, moving average, and the number is 50. We have different options of moving average. We're going to use an EMA, and we click apply. So as you can see, we have now started to write our condition. So when the average, moving average 50, click compare, crosses below the 200 moving average, EMA, the action is to sell. Notice we have close sell and we have close buy. This will allow you to put in a close sell as opposed to putting in a particular number of pips. And this is useful for what we call a trailing stop. But I can explain more about that when we do some more in-depth training, if that's what we do later on down the line. So this is just to show you how we set up a very basic strategy. Moving average 50, crossing below the moving average 200, we're going to sell. We click confirm, and that has written the condition. That took about a minute to do. Now I'm going to write the buying condition. So this is the opposite way around. So when the 50 moving average, and notice we had loads of different indicators we can choose from. So when the 50 EMA crosses above, let's look at all the different indicators you had to choose from, and we're adding to this all of the time. Moving average 200 EMA, the action is to buy. Okay, and now we have written our conditions for that particular strategy. You can see them anytime by clicking view. Now what I've just done there in about 2 minutes, it took the guy on that flip chart earlier, which I showed you on those photographs, 3 minutes just to write it out. That's not even programming it. That's just to write one condition. It took him 9 minutes to write the sell and the buy. So here you can see in a couple of minutes we've written the condition. All we need to do now is risk manage. So we'll keep the trade size as 1 CFD. The system stop loss we will put at 21, and we'll, let's say 20, and we will put a take profit of 65. So 3.5 to 1 reward to risk. Here we can put a total drawdown in pips. So in this particular box, what you can do is put in, say, I only want my trade system to run, and if it ever goes to a situation where it's lost 200 pips in one hit in trades, which is probably here, 10 trades here, 10 times 20 is 200, stop my system. That will allow you to control drawdown. But I'm going to leave it at 5,000 just for the demonstration purposes, and also a take profit here as well. So you've got a full protection. You can choose a number of currency pairs to trade with or to test with. I'm choosing euro dollar. and I'm going to choose a 15-minute time frame. I'm going to save this by clicking here, and it gives me the opportunity of calling it a name. So we'll call it EMA cross. Save that, and as you can see now, we've named the strategy. Now all I need to do is back test it. So I'm going to run the test. Run the test means we're going to test this strategy over a specific period of time. If I didn't want to back test, I could start trading, or I could just see any history of all other tests I've done. Because this is the first one we've done, it's not really going to show me anything. So click run test, and I have the option now of testing over all data, which is 2017 to today, or specific dates. So I'm going to use all data. So I'm now going to run the test. We're using all data, and we're using candle data. Click run test, and that now is working its magic. It's back testing through all of the trading prices, the days over the period we're testing, exactly when those moving averages crossed, and what the outcome would have been if it had placed a trade with a 20 pip stop and a 65 pip target. Now, I expect there to be more losing trades than winning trades because of the reward to risk. But when I get a winning trade, remember, I'm going to be making 3.5 times what my risk was. And that's the beautiful thing about these type of systems. Now, as you can see, back testing, while it's doing it, it's not really sort of exciting. It's not really exciting watching it, but eventually we're going to have some charts appear here and show you every trade that it took. But right now, what it's doing is it's working its magic and doing the back test, and now we've got a result. It stopped, and that was very quick, probably about 50 seconds, which is lightning quick for a back test. And we've got 3 areas here. We've got results, we've got profit and loss chart, and we've got the trades. So the first thing we do is we click the results. Click here, and it's given us a result. It's given us a result of 705 pips of profit, okay? It gives you the total amount of trades taken, and the winning trades and the losing trades. If you click the cross again and then go to the profit and loss chart, it shows you what the account. So you can see reasonably steady upward movement on the chart. If you then close that and click the bottom one, you can then see exactly the trades it would have taken, and the date stamp, and the close and open price, including spread. So as you can see here, now we've got a real complete library of what that trading system would have done. And it made a 705 pip profit over a couple of years. So if you're running this in conjunction with another system, or 2 or 3, you've got a reliable one. But what I want to do here is I want to change the time frame and just test it on a different time frame. So we use this area here to do that. So we have currency pairs, we have the candle period. So we can keep it to euro dollar, and we'll change it to a 30-minute time frame. So we're now running the same strategy, but this time on a 30-minute chart. Let's run the test. So what we're doing now is we're running that on a different time frame. So every time the moving average crossed on a 30-minute chart. So for example, like this, look at that move there we would have taken with this system. So it's great. So every time we moved on a 30-minute chart. So we'll wait for the results to come through, and we'll have a look at it. Once we're happy with that, we might want to run it on different currency pairs. So we can use the currency pair drop-down window to change and test on the same currency pairs. So it needs a little bit of legwork in the beginning, but again, look how quick the back testing is. It's immensely quick. So we scroll down here, click here. As you can see, that one was a much stronger result. This one had 1,215 pips of profit. Okay, it's had 55 winning trades, but remember, those 55 trades of wins are 3 times what the losses were. So if you multiply the 55 by 3, that gives you 165. So it's made a serious profit compared to the losses. Look at the losing or the profit loss chart, much more steady. Although at the beginning, look, it pulled down a little bit. So at the beginning, you went into a deficit, and had you been watching this live, you may not have wanted to keep that one running, and you'd have missed out on all of this. So that's, again, the beautiful thing about having an auto system, which allows you to not even need to look at it. So let's close that down and close that down and look at the trades that it would have taken. So the trades it would have taken here shows you every single trade it would have taken. You've got a winner there, a winner there, a loser there, a winner there, a loser there, a loser there, a loser there, a loser there, a winner and a winner. So out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 trades, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winners and 5 losing trades. At 3 to 1, that, and you're risking 1%, that would have been a 10% gain in just that page there. So if you were happy with that, you could run that live by clicking the Start Trading button. So you would click here, and you then have choices with regards to the Start Trading options. You have Allow Overnight Trading, or you can trade specific hours. So if you allow overnight trading, it will run 24 hours a day, and every time those conditions are met, it will trade for you. Or you can trade specific hours by clicking here and selecting your time of start and time of end, and it will only execute trades in between those windows. Now I'm going to allow overnight trading, trade 24 hours a day, and I'm going to start trading, and that's now running. As you can see here, that's actually running here, and that's running live. Okay, so that's now running, and at any one time I can view this to see what my current setup is, how many trades it's taken. So when the trades are placed, they're placed simultaneously into the marketplace, and they're placed simultaneously into the marketplace, and they're placed into here as well. You can see the algorithm you're running, you can see the description or notes or anything, and you can see any backtest history here as well. So you can see the backtest history you've got on that particular system. So that's how to create that strategy. Okay, so I'm now going to create a new strategy, this time based on those Bollinger Bands that we were looking at earlier. Okay, so create new strategy. And now we're going to use the Bollinger Band strategy, and we're going to use this on a different currency pair. We're going to use this on dollar yen on a different time frame. So the first thing we do is click Add Algorithm. Okay, so this one I'm going to use now is going to be based on this dollar yen strategy with the 200 moving average. So we go to our builder and we say when price crosses above the Bollinger Band, and all we got to do is type B and it comes up with Bollinger Band. The settings are standard, upper. Okay, so that means when prices cross the upper band, price cross the upper band there, like so, apply. And price has to be a certain way round of the 200 moving average. So the price has to be below the 200 moving average. So price is less than the 200 moving average. EMA, apply. The action is to sell. Click confirm, and that's written the sell function. Okay, I'll now add the buy. So this time is when price, and you can watch this back at your leisure, guys, because we're recording this. So when price crosses below the Bollinger Band, lower band, and price is more than the 200 moving average, this time we're going to buy. Okay, so apply, action is to buy. Okay, now we're going to run this on a 5-minute chart on dollar yen, so we can choose any currency pair we like. We're going to use dollar yen, and we're going to use it on a 5-minute chart, so a much lower time frame. As you can see, it's going to match what we're doing here. So basically what this is going to do, this is going to take trades when the price is above the moving average. So for example, it will take a sell when price is above. So let me see if I can, so here it will take a buy here, it will take a buy here. Okay, when the 200 moving average is below price like there, it will take a sell there, and it will take a sell there as well when price is below the 200 moving average. So we've created the strategy. We now just need to quickly create the risk management. We're going to use a 4 pip stop, and we're going to use a 16 pip target. So this is a 4 to 1. Now you can use a higher number of pips as a stop. You can play around with this to your heart's content. I'm just showing you the principal features of this. So once we've done that, we can then run the test. Let's run the test on this one. Again, we're going to run it on all data, on candle data, and just run the test. So this is running the same strategy that we just looked at here. Every time price crossed here, it would sell because the moving average is below, and when the moving average when the moving average is above, and when the moving average is below, it will take these trades here, buying trades here. So we just wait for the result to come through. The result shouldn't be much longer. It takes about a minute. It can take a little bit longer with internet connection, a little bit sort of iffy, or it can take a little bit longer if you've got a little bit more complex strategy. But I've never known a back test to take longer than about 1.5 to 2 minutes. So we're waiting for this to come in. 4 pip stop, 16 pip target. So a 4-to-1 reward to risk, which I expect there to be more losing trades than winners, but every winning trade is 4 times what a losing trade would be, which is a real positive way of trading the markets. Keep your winning trades running longer, keep your losing trades cut them short. So just wait for the result to come in. It shouldn't be that much longer at all. Because we've got 2 indicators on it, it might be taking just a little bit longer. So the Bollinger Bands and the moving average. So it's got 2 things to look at. But I'm not expecting this to take much longer. There we go. There's the result. So the result is in, and the result is nearly 1,000 pips of profit, which is really good. Okay, so 1,000 pips of profit. Notice we've had 1,000 winners, but remember the winners 4 times the losers. That's the most important thing to remember. If we look at the price chart, so this is your equity curve, if you like. So it's actually made a good profit here. It pulled back a little bit here, but overall, over the whole period, it's making money. And most systems, most trading systems do have periods of what we call drawdown. But then if you've got a drawdown limiter, you can control that, okay? And there's your winning trades and your losing trades there. Now I just want to show you something about reward to risk. Okay, if we change this to 4 and 32, that's actually now 8-to-1. So every winning trade is 8 times what you would lose. Now this is going to give you a lot more losing trades. So this is for people who are a little bit less risk averse. If you are risk averse, keep it to the lower reward to risk. But if you really want to look at capitalizing and making some good profit, you could run a back test on 4 and 32, which is what I'm going to do now, and see what the result is here. It was 980 before, and this one will give you the ability to see what it would be like at an 8-to-1 reward to risk. You're either risking 4 pips to make 32. Now the beautiful thing about this system, ATS by Tradinsights, powered by TEKTON, is you have full control. We're going to be doing some sessions on training people how to use it, not just relying you on using this video. We're going to have some training sessions on how to use this and how you can get on board and build stuff. Rather than just giving you strategies, get used to using it yourself. We've got 1 or 2 strategies we can give you to start with, but get a hold of a demo copy and I'll show you how to do that at the end, so you can get using this yourself and really give your trading an edge moving forward. So it has full functionality, it has full reporting, full historical testing, full history of those historical tests, and a full engine of showing you what your trading system is doing at any one time. So once we get a result here, I'll show you the difference between an 8-to-1 and a 4-to-1. It should come up very shortly. I expect there to be a lot more losing trades, but possibly more profit, but we'll see when it comes out. So we're just waiting for the test. You know, it's always like watching a kettle boil here. But you can actually create a strategy in ATS quicker than a kettle takes to boil, as you've seen. So there we go. There's the results. This one had 1,400 pips of profit, so much stronger result, but you had a lot more losing trades because you had a lot bigger target to hit. But if you look at the profit and loss chart, much stronger. So, you know, this is all about using your risk, aversion to risk, or attitude to risk to decide where you fit into, you know, your attitude towards losing trades. You will have losing trades, but because you're doing this algorithmically, you're not going to see those losing trades. You're going to see nothing because you're not going to be keep watching. You need to go in obviously every few days just to make sure everything's running okay. But you don't need to look at it hours and hours at a time or every day to see what's going on. It will run automatically for you. So again, if I want to run this one live, which looks like it's a good one, I'm going to click Start Trading, Overnight Trading, Start Trading, and that's now running live as well. So we've now got 1 and we've got 2 there running live. Okay, this one here and the one at the top. Now, I did promise you something very special, and I'm going to show you from beginning to end how quick it takes for a strategy to actually execute into the real market. So I'm just going to log out of this one, and I'm actually log into this account here, okay? This is a brand new account. So the account number is 10763554. So I'm going to log out of this, and I'm going to show you from scratch to the very beginning, 1076, how long it takes to actually create a strategy and get it running in the marketplace, okay? So let's just log into this. Okay, so we have a completely, let me just actually refresh this. If you've got more than one account, sometimes you have to refresh it. So let me just refresh this and then we'll start again. Okay, so let me go in again. 7635554. I may be good at trading, but I'm not very good at remembering numbers, so I sometimes have to revert back. Okay, so there we go. Your risk warning there. Okay, and here's our bear strategy. So I'm now going to create a strategy. It's going to be called Fast Algo. It's on a 1 minute time frame. It's going to be on euro dollar. It's going to be on this chart here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a strategy where when price is below the 200 moving average, sell. When price is above the moving average, buy. A simple 5 pip stop, 10 pip target. I won't back test it. It's just simply to show you the speed in which you can create a strategy and get it to run live. So we create a strategy. It's on euro dollar. It's on the 1 minute time frame. And very simply, it's going to be a 5 pip stop, a 10 pip target. And now I'm going to add the algorithm. So when price is less than the 200 moving average, EMA, the action is to sell. Click confirm. That's written the sell. Now I'm going to add the buy. So when price is more than the 200 moving average, the action is to buy. So we now have a sell, we have a buy, we have 5 pip stop, 10 pip target, euro dollar, 1 minute. I'm going to save this and call it Fast Algo. Demo, just to demo the speed of which the system works. I'm not going to worry about back testing. I'm now going to start trading, allow overnight trading, click start. That appears as running. I'm now going to go to my charting platform, look at the same account number here as the account number in XStation here. It will wait for the first full candle to create, and then it will execute live and the trade will appear here. So we're waiting probably about 40 seconds or so for that to happen. And it will come up here with the trade it takes. So I'm just going to leave my mouse there and wait for this candle to calculate down. The ATS now has sent the signal to the broker. It's sent the signal via the interface to the broker that when that condition is met, when price is below the 200 moving average to sell, or when price is above to buy. And you'll see this is on a demo account, but it's the same link number between the two. What's going to happen now? So we're waiting for this candle to close, and then they'll wait just a few seconds for the execution of the trade, and that should then trigger a trade quite simply in the bottom window there. So we're just waiting for that to execute. It sometimes waits for one completely full candle, in which means that you'll might wait 1 more minute, but we're just waiting for that to execute. And once it's executed, you'll see how quick it is. So it normally waits for 1 complete candle. So if you're trading on a 5 minute, it will require 1 full 5 minute candle for it to execute. So this one's 1 full 1 minute candle. Okay, so we know here we've got the system running. It's running here. And we're just waiting for that to execute here on our system. Now, if your price is hovering on this particular example, if your price is hovering between the two, you might get a buy and sell because price is both above and below. And right now, because it's late in the day, market conditions are quite sideways, but I'm expecting this to start to execute on the next candle, and it should be a sell depending on the spread. So we'll just wait for the next candle to close, the new one to open, and there we go. There's our sell trade. There's our sell trade. There's our target. There's our stop loss. And that's how to write a strategy using ATS, how to then send it to the broker platform charting software, and how to watch it execute in probably about 3 minutes. So just some other quick things I want to show you about ATS. Once you're running, you've got all your trading strategies here. You can see a running profit and loss here. If we look at the view of this one, we can see, okay, that it hasn't got anything set up yet because that trade hasn't finished yet. But once that trade finishes, it will show you in this screen here. It'll also show you the test history and also the trade history. It shows you you've got one open, one that was triggered at 1937. And it shows you the current profit loss is 0 because it's not finished yet. So it's a really, really comprehensive system, but it's really simple and effective to use. You know, it's an interface between you and the broker, and it really is a simple system to use. And remember, it is free to use, and I'm going to show you now how you can get hold of it for free moving forward. So let's go back to our here. Let's go back here and let's get the stop sharing, and let's get back to the where we're at. So what I want to do now is I want to show you how to actually get hold of our system. Okay, so there's a few little email addresses here which we're going to send to you all anyway on email. Those of you that have joined, I really thank you for joining this evening. I really do. It's really been a useful evening. I'm really apologetic about the internet. The internet has been a bit of a sod for us tonight, which is really embarrassing, but at least now we're back up and running, and you've had a good look at ATS and how it works, how it backtests, how it actually executes trades, and how you'll never need to miss another trade again. And we're fully committed behind you to give you education. If you need education on trading as a basic level, not a problem. We're running workshops on that. If you are knowing what you're doing, we can get you some videos to get you set up on this and give your trading a real edge and become pioneers, because you know we've launched this now worldwide, and we've got an office in Johannesburg, we've got an office in London, and we're now looking to enhance this and offer this as a worldwide solution to traders around there. So the contact details you see here, we have Europe and the rest of the world, is info@tradinsights.com. We have an email for Africa, which is bespoke for Africa, which is info@tradinsights.co.za. When you get a demo account, so a demo account I would use, and this is how I use a demo account, is when I'm using a demo account, I set up a back test. I then run my demo account with the strategy that I'm happy to run with for say 3 days. If I'm happy with the result, then I run it live. I don't run it for longer than that, because demo money doesn't make you money. It's just a practice, and it doesn't make you any money at all. So demo accounts are usually for 2 weeks only, but you can use a new demo account to try new strategies. So once you've got one trade strategy or 2 or 3 running live, then try something new. Work out what you're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some workshops moving forward. We're going to do some workshops on optimization. We're going to do workshops on creating new strategies. I'm going to support everybody that gets on board with this, and we're going to run a very lucrative bonus offer. So those of you that get on board with Tradinsights ATS within the next say 7 to 10 days and open your account with the broker that's relevant to you wherever you are in the world, we're going to look at getting some Amazon vouchers out to you that you can spend on stuff that you want to spend money on. We've also got some of the brokers have got some really great introduction offers as well with you directly, but we're going to send some Amazon vouchers out to those of you that get your accounts funded over the next 7 to 10 days. So there's the challenge for you. By say the 17th of August, if you've got a live account up and running and you send us an email with the details, we will give you an Amazon voucher for you to spend on anything you want. Open a live broker account area is here. So you can click this area here and you can see this. We can send you this on an email so you can actually click it again later. And that shows you the broker which you're at, wherever you are in the world. For example, if you are in Europe, we have a broker for Europe. We have a broker that covers the rest of the world. And also our websites. We have websites at www.tradinsights.com, and we have a website www.tradinsights.co.za. So, we've been going now for about an hour and 45 minutes, minus the interruptions with the internet. I can see someone's typing something now. I'm happily take some questions now if you want to type them. Wow, that's really lovely message to read. I don't know if you guys can read that. It says, wonderful financial breakthrough into the world of finance. Tio, that's really a nice thing for you to say. I really appreciate that. I will take questions now. If you've got any questions, I'll allow Q&A now for 5 or 10 minutes. Please type it in your chat window if you have a question. I'm more than happy to answer them. But yeah, we're really excited about Tradinsights ATS. It is, if I speak to the people I've been speaking to over the last several months about what we're doing and what we're creating, I've only been met by excitement and really trepidation, and I've been met by people. The only objection I've had from people is, why is it free? Well, we designed this to be free of charge. We've designed this so we get paid by the broker. The broker's paying us for their clients to use it. So why should we then charge a retail client like yourself to use it? So we're really committed to this. We're committed to trading. We're committed to supporting people. We're committed to growing the world and the Tradinsights family. We've got some fantastic people on board with us, both in Europe, in UK, and in Africa. And we've got some really great, intelligent people and super inspiring people. There's a question: is there a minimum deposit required? You know what? There's no minimum deposit required with the worldwide brokers. Even with the European brokers, there's no restriction, or there's no limit to what you can put in, and there's no minimum amount. The more that you put in, of course, the better it is for you, because the more money you're going to be looking at trading with. But you can even start with as low as $100, $200 in Africa. And remember, leverage is so important, because if you're based in Europe, and like I am, we're trading with a 1-to-33 leverage, which unfortunately was the regulators changed that a year or two ago. So leverage with the European and UK brokers is 1-to-33. But if you're in the rest of the world, anywhere outside of that, and we're looking to try and bring the UK into that area as well in moving forward if we can, the rest of the world is at 1-to-300 leverage. And potentially, and I'm not saying potentially, I'm lying, it's not potentially, it is actual, that's changing imminently to 1-to-500 leverage. And that means basically you can get more trading activity done with a much smaller account. So your smaller accounts aren't really going to sort of get swallowed up, if you know what I mean. So you can invest a little bit less. But the best advice I can give you is with regards to depositing money, is the more you are able to put in, the more you're able to trade with. If you're looking at $100, $200, that sort of thing, you're going to be limited to, say, 2 or 3 open positions with, say, 1 micro lot. If you can go higher, great. You're going to be able to get more trades on, and we're going to also be able to do, you're going to get more volume on those. We do offer live workshops. We're basically running a live workshop in South Africa. This is a live South African workshop. So for those of you that are going to be in Africa, we're going to be in Johannesburg on the 31st of August. We are getting people come on board with that very quickly. If you're in the UK, we'll be looking at doing something here as well. So I noticed, Sarah, you're asking me about the UK. Yes, we can do some live stuff here in the UK. I've got strong links in the UK, in Africa, so that's why I started really in Africa. But we can really, we can do something in the UK, no problem at all. We've got an office, access to an office in Liverpool Street in the city. So it all depends where you're at. So Sarah, if you want to do something with us, drop us a line. Drop myself or Rita a line, and we'll be more than happy to help you. We've got another question here. Thank you, Mark. Asking for us all, we saw the small account results of plus 100 euros on the euro dollar. Can one be able to run trades in more than one pair, mix scalping, ranging, and trend strategies in one pair to maximize on trading opportunities? Absolutely. It's a great question. If you run a trading strategy, let's say on euro dollar, you're happy to run that, you then click the start trading button, and then the next phase, which we're releasing in the next couple of weeks or so, will enable you then to copy that same strategy into other pairs. The later phase will allow you then to actually run it on multiple pairs. So we're just coding that at the moment. We're just programming that and setting that environment up and testing that environment. So you will be able to maximize trading opportunities. So you can have a moving average cross running on all the pairs if you want. So it'll just pick them as and when they happen. It's a really, really user-friendly system and something we've got a lot of scalability with, and something we're really excited we're going to be working with in the future. So that's a really great question. You will be able to take ranging strategies, trending strategies moving forward, and you will be able to do them on multiple accounts. But right now, if you want to run a moving average cross, for example, on 5 pairs, just run 5 strategies. It will only take them as and when they set up. So you're not really going to be missing opportunities, and you're not going to be over trading either. So I see we've got another question coming. You're welcome, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. I hope it's been informative. If you've got any questions, any of you, please don't hesitate to send us an email on the email addresses in your relevant area where you are in the world. It's been such a good turnout tonight and also earlier today as well. My voice is a bit hoarse, but I'll gladly stay around for a few more minutes to see if there's any more questions. Don't be afraid of asking questions, because questions are never bad questions if you don't know the answer. So a question is always good, even though you might think it's a silly question. If you don't know the answer, it is not a silly question. We've got somebody typing now a question. I've been typing a while. So, oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much. So can't wait for the 31st of August for the training. Guys, we're really looking forward to being there with you. And, if you've enjoyed tonight and you've actually benefited from tonight and you've learned something tonight, albeit with the in and out internet, I'm sure you'll enjoy something even more face-to-face when I actually can be with you personally wherever you are in the world. We're looking to grow this rapidly. We're looking to get people moving with this as soon as possible. So, drop us a line on email if you've really enjoyed it. We'd like to hear your feedback. We really, really would. We're going to send this out to each and every one of you as a recording anyway, including the breakages in internet. So really, really thank you. We've got one more question coming in actually. So I can get a little notification here when someone's typing. So we've got somebody typing here. 3 people's typing. So just waiting for this to come through. We'll leave it at these 2 questions, and then we can any more questions we can take on email. And once again, I apologize for the internet. London usually is oh wow, that's a really nice thing to say. This is the best trading system I've seen ever. We've been struggling with our trades, but this is it. That's a really nice thing to say. Thank you very much, Millicent. We've spent a lot of time and a lot of money in this, and we've sweated a lot of tears and blood with this, and literally, it's been a hard slog. But with no gain, no pain, you don't have any gain. And we've really worked hard, both myself and Rita and our team of developers at TEKTON. They've really, really worked our socks off, smart and hard, to provide us with this opportunity. So really, really grateful for your comments. It really means a lot to us. I think that there's one more. Fly with Sarah to South Africa for the 31st. Okay, Sarah, look, if you're still watching, just drop us a line on email. Talk to myself or Rita. We'll try and get in touch with you and try and get something sorted out for you to get on board with this. Thank you so much, Mark. I've learned quite a lot tonight. Looking forward to meeting the team and strategies. More than welcome, my friend. Well, more than welcome. It's been a pleasure talking to you and talking to all of you this evening. And I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for you attending and taking a couple of hours out of your evening. On a nice summer evening in the UK, not so warm, I suppose, in Africa, but probably warm in Europe, wherever you are. So I thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to meeting you guys very soon. And once again, send us an email, get in touch, and we'd be more than happy to help you. Thank you very much. Bye for now.